video is given by Teach Your Brain. Be a teacher of yourself. Hello friends, welcome to my channel again. In this session, we are going to see about Class 8 Biology, Chapter 1, Crop Production and Management. And this PPT was created by my friend Shrija, and I appreciate her for this. Now, coming to the lesson, so we need food to gain energy and to do some work, right? So where does that food comes from? It comes from the farmers who farms that crops, right? Who grows that crops and gives food to us. So this is commonly known as agriculture. So it is the practice of farming. Okay, so in agriculture they include this plant growth of plant and cultivator, sunlight, preparation of soil, watering, that is irrigation, and so on, right? So for agriculture there are big lands. See, in this picture you can see a big land is used for agriculture. So like this, big lands and vast lands are used for agriculture. Okay, and crop, when we see about crop, crop is actually a plant that is grown on large scale here. It represents vast area. Okay, in a big area it was the plant was grown so that it could help in selling purposes. Okay, so crop is actually grown on a large scale for commercial purposes. And then the examples of crop here is pulses, cereals, oil seeds, vegetables and fruits. Okay, so this is actually what a crop is. Okay, then there so depending upon season we can divide the cropping patterns into two, that is kharif crop and rabi crop. Okay, actually some plants need some summer to grow, and some plants need rainy season to grow. So according to that they have divided it into two types. One is kharif and another is rabi. Next is what is kharif crop? So kharif crop is nothing but the kharif crops are the crops which are sown in rainy season. Okay, so kharif crops don't need much water, because we don't want to irrigate much, because we are sowing it in the rainy season, and rains give the water needed for the crops. And the rainy season in India is actually from June to September. The examples are paddy, maize, soya bean, groundnut and cotton. Okay, so here groundnut, corn, cotton and so on. Next, rabi crop. When we see about rabi crop, we have seen that kharif crop is sown in rainy season. Now rabi crop is actually sown in winter season. Okay, in India it is from October to February or March, something like that. So they are known as rabi crops. So examples are wheat, linseed, pea, mustard and so on. So to cultivate a crop we have to do some processes, right? So there are certain practices which are necessary for a growth of plant. Okay, so this is actually termed as agricultural practices. Okay, now there are 7 types of agricultural practices and we are going to see them in detail, but now just topics I am seeing. So the topics are preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, protecting from weeds, harvesting, storage. Okay, so now we are going to see in detail the steps. So first step is preparation of soil, where the soil is prepared. So it is commonly done by plow, which is an instrument, but the 3 activities are actually plowing, watering and leveling. Okay, so these 3 are the important activities to prepare soil. So the soil is prepared to sow the seeds. So soil is the major thing that can support crop cultivation, right? The soil is the thing where crops are, that is seeds are sown, right? So now the agricultural implements are plow, hoe, cultivator, seed drill. Okay, so for preparation of soil these 4 are used. Okay, this is the plow. Okay, it is supported by two animals, most commonly ox. Okay, then this is cultivator, this is hoe, sorry, this is seed drill, and this is hoe. Okay, so now we are going to see about ploughing. Actually, ploughing is the process of loosening and turning of the soil. So it is the process where we loosen the soil and turn it up and down. Okay, so plough is used to do this ploughing. Okay, plough is actually a device that is used by farmers. Okay, so this is supported by animals. So for example, here they have mostly they are used by oxes and animals that belongs to cow families. Okay, so the plough field may have some crumbs is actually clumps of soil. Okay, big clumps of soil which are to be broken. Okay, if we broke these only, the soil will be equalized and there will be no crumbs. Okay, so and then it helps in the proper mixing of manure. When we add manure to the soil, it should be mixed with the soil properly so that the nutrients are equally distributed. So breaking of crumbs helps in proper mixing of manure. Okay, then after this ploughing, the soil is moistened. Okay, now we are going to see detailedly about plough. Actually, plough is made up of wood. It is made up of wood and the end is made up of iron. Okay, so here they have given, so they are mostly supported by oxen, and cows and horses are rarely used for this. Okay, so it has three important parts which are plowshare, plow shaft and beam. 1 minute. So here you can see here this triangular this triangular part which contains iron also is actually known as plowshare. This is actually put inside the soil, and when oxes move, they will turn in the soil. Here they will turn in the soil, and this long log of wood is actually known as plow shaft. Okay, this log of wood which are kept in the neck of oxen or beam. The long wood that is kept in the necks of oxen are known as beam. So here you can see that the stand placed on animal's neck is beam, long log of wood is plow shaft, and strong triangular iron strip, that is it consists of iron, that is actually known as plowshare. Okay, then hoe. So hoe is used to loosen soil. Hoe is used to loosen soil and for removing weeds. With the help of hoe, we can remove weeds. Weeds are actually some unwanted plants that grow near the crops and obtains nutrients. Okay, so you will learn about that later. So hoe is actually made up of wood and some iron. Okay, metal plate. So here you can see that this is actually wood. Okay, this is actually wood, and this is what the iron plate is. This is the iron plate, this is the wood. Okay, so the hoe is actually made up of long log of wood with a thin metal plate, thin iron plate. Okay, so here they have given a strong iron plate is attached to the long rod. It acts like a blade and it helps to loosen the soil. Okay, sometimes it is also pulled by animals, but mostly it is used by humans. So now cultivator. So when we use plow and hoe, we need a labor in a vast area of land. If we use plow and hoe, we need labor and time is wasted, more time is needed. So when we use cultivator, it's a machine. Okay, it makes the work faster and it actually saves labor and time. Okay, cultivator is a tractor driven. Okay, here the tractor is using this cultivator, and then they are faster now. Okay, After the preparation of soil is over, now we are going to sow the seeds. So when sowing the seeds, we have to leave some gaps between the seeds. So we have to maintain some distances between one seed to another. Okay. Because seeds are the most important material for the plants to grow. From seeds only the plants can grow, right? Actually farmers use a good quality seeds so that they can give healthy food and high yielding, okay, high earning, they can earn high. Here distance between seeds is important because seeds, when we scatter the seeds such that seeds are nearer, then the plants would overlap and there will be a competition between them for space, water and light, and also nutrients by which plants grow. Okay, so to prevent this, there is a distance, there we should maintain a distance, okay, so that the crops would uh, grow better. Okay. Coming to adding fertilizer and manure is actually an organic substance which we can itself make. Okay, but fertilizers are made in factories or labs. Okay, so manure increases soil fertility and humus. Okay, a simple way of making manure is that you have to just dig a pit in the garden of your house, put all your organic waste such as vegetable peels, kitchen waste, and cow dung, etc., and close that pit for many days. After a few weeks, if you just open that, it is a manure. It helps the plants to grow efficiently. Okay, so it increases the soil's fertility. Okay, and it actually what it do means, it increases water holding capacity and it does not leave the water to log. It avoids water logging. Now we are going to see the advantages of using manure. The first advantages is it improves soil texture. Okay, and then it restores soil with all nutrients, not specific nutrient. It has all nutrients in it. Okay, then it increase water retaining capacity of soil, that is water holding capacity, and it is not toxic, and it is eco-friendly. Then it is recycled biological product, because the all products we are using for making manure is all our biological product. Okay. Next, fertilizers. So I have said already that fertilizers are made in factories or labs. Okay, they result in higher yields, but only when it is applied in proper dose. If they are used in excess dose, then it would harm the microorganisms. Okay, and it can spoil soil fertility. Okay. It has only specific nutrients. Okay, there are many types of fertilizers, but each type has a specific nutrient. Okay, and the few advantages are they cause sometimes water pollution if there are excessive irrigation, and excessive use of fertilizers can spoil the soil fertility. So now, difference between manure and fertilizers. Okay, manure is natural, organic, but fertilizer is man-made and inorganic. Okay, manure adds humus but fertilizers don't, and manure is not nutrient specific, that is it does not contain particular nutrient, it contains all nutrients, but fertilizer is contains particular nutrient. And manure is cheap whereas fertilizer is costly, and manure is prepared in the fields, but fertilizers, they are prepared in factories. Okay, now coming to irrigation. So irrigation is application of water, that is giving water to plants. Okay, because water is very important for plants to grow, right, and it is important for photosynthesis by which plants can make their own food. Okay, India has irregular distribution of rainfall. Okay, if agriculture is dependent on rainfall, then agriculture won't be profitable, that is won't be good at that time. Okay, so irrigation is important in India. Okay, so there are two types of irrigations, one is traditional method and another is modern method. So first is traditional methods. In this four methods are there. So the first one is moat, that is pulley system. Okay, then chain pump, like this is chain pump, this is moat, and this here rahat and dekli. Okay, rahat and dekli. So next, modern system is sprinkler system and drip system. Only two types of system in modern system. They are sprinkler system. This is the sprinkler system. This is the sprinkler system in which sprinklers are connected in tubes. Okay, they sprinkle the air into the they sprinkle the water into the air. Okay, then the drip system. So in agricultural field, crops are planted rows by rows, right? So for each row they connect a pipe, so that from that pipe it allows water to the roots. Okay, it allows water to the roots of the plants. Okay, then after irrigation we have to protect it from weeds. Actually, weeds are unwanted plants. Okay, unwanted plants that grows near crops. Okay, weeding is the process in which we remove the weeds. It is the process of removal of weeds. Removal of weeds is actually important. Why means it when it grows near crops, it absorbs the nutrients and nutrients that is required for crops. Okay,
Now we are going to see the tools for weeding, and the first tool we are going to see is kurpi. So this is the kurpi, and this is what the seed drill. So now weedicides. So weeding is the process of removing of weeds, but weedicides is actually used. That is, weedicides is also used to remove the weeds. By tool means it is kurpi and seed drill, but by chemical means it is weedicides. So actually they don't damage crop. Okay, so example is 2,4-diclopenoxyacetic acid, 2,4-diclopenoxyacetic acid and naphthalene acetic acid. So there are certain precautions while using weedicides. The farmers should cover their nose and mouth with a piece of cloth. Okay, so that their health may not be affected by spraying weedicides. Okay, next is harvesting. Harvesting is actually the cutting of crop after the crops are mature, that is after the crops are grown. We have to cut the crop. So the tools that are used are sickle, and harvester is a machine. Okay, uh, that is used to harvest the crops. So it can be done manually by sickle, and machine is harvester. Okay, so next, harvesting the grains. After harvesting, we have to do separation of seeds. So from the chaff we have to separate the grains. So the first process is threshing. So by the means of threshing we can lose the grains from chaff. Okay, so nowadays we are using machines, but in older days we use a threshing process to loosen the grains from the chaff. And next is winnowing. So winnowing is actually, we have to uh, throw the grains in air, so that the heavier particles fall back, and lighter particles, that is grain, will fall aside. Okay, so combine harvest is uh, another machine which is used. This is the machine that is used nowadays. Okay, so this is used to uh, harvest. Okay, harvesting is done by this, and this harvesting after harvesting is done, the crop is pushed towards the cutter. Okay, so the sharp teeth in the cutter, it cuts the crops. Okay, and the threshing drum is inside, that separates the grain from chaff, and the grains are separately collected in the grain tanks. Okay, the next is storage. After harvesting is done, we have to store the grains, so that we can take it for a long time. Okay, so because agriculture has some season, right? In the season only this will be cultivated, so the season after that we have to store that if we want to eat that. So storage is important, because there are certain microorganisms, insects, and pests, that is also insects, uh, which attack these grains, that is they eat that grains. So we have to store it in separate storage. Okay, commonly they are separated in silos. Okay, so sometimes storage in storage they would keep neems. that is neem leaves. So they prevent the growth of microbes. Okay, they prevent the growth of microbes and insects as they contain alkaloids that repel pathogens. Okay, so food from animals, that is animal husbandry. So like growing crops, animals are also grown in farms. Okay, so they are given proper food, shelter and care so that we can obtain food from animals like milk, dairy products and so on. Okay, then cropping pattern, we are going to see about cropping pattern now. So there are major three types of cropping pattern. One is mixed cropping, another is intercropping, and the third is crop rotation. So it's for mixed cropping is the process in which in the same piece of land we will grow two or more crops simultaneously is continuously. So if we divide the part of a piece of land into two, one side we will grow one plant and another side we will grow another plant. Okay, intercropping is actually practice of growing two or more crops simultaneously. That is a definite pattern. Suppose one row of crop A is planted, the second one is in the second row plant B, the third row plant A. Like that, row by row, some definite pattern will be there. Okay. Hmm. So advantages of mixed cropping is that it maintains soil fertility. Okay, it maintains soil fertility and minimize the risk of crop failure. So that even if one crop fails, then the other crop would grow nicely and gives the profit. So for example, they have given maize and urad dal, and then cotton and moorg, then groundnut and sunflower, that is sunflower, and wheat and mustard. Okay, so this is sunflower. Okay, so it also reduce the infection from pest. Okay, and diseases won't be attacked soon. Okay, the next is the criteria. uh, we have seen the advantages here. Here we are going to see the criteria. Okay, suppose so cropping is that in a same piece of land two crops are cultivated. So if so the waste of one crop may stimulates the growth of other crop. Okay, may stimulate the growth of other crop. Okay, and they do not compete. Sorry, this is not complete, it is compete. The crops do not compete with each other. Okay, so advantages of intercropping is it makes better use of natural resources and soil erosion is arrested. That is, it prevents soil erosion and different crops can be harvested easily and separately. Okay, so now the third type is crop rotation. Crop rotation is actually a practice of growing different crops on a piece of land in a pre-planned succession. Okay, so there will be some plan before growing the crops. They would according to that plan they will cultivate the crops. Okay, and the advantages are they control pests and weeds. First is they control insects and weeds, and then they reduces the need of fertilizer. Okay, and soil is also can be utilized. Okay, because some plants need nitrogen from soil. So while we plant that nitrogen, after harvesting that plant, we can sow other crops. Okay, we can cultivate other crops which do not need nitrogen, so that the soil can be utilized. Okay, so next, crop variety improvement. So there are crop variety improvement is the process by which varieties are developed. Okay, so first is hybridization. This is the process by which um, we cross the plant so that we get a new plant. Okay, when we cross a lemon and orange, if we sow lemon and orange seeds together, we would get new crop, that is Mayer lemon. And potato and tomato, if we crop together, then we will get tomato. The next is genetically modified. Okay, so in this, a gene is taken from a plant and inserted into another plant. Okay, so for example, here they have given, sorry, here a gene from bean plant is taken and inserted to the rice gene. Okay, so the resultant rice helps to fight iron and deficiency. Okay, for example, another example, bt, brinjal, and bt cotton. Okay, it is resistant to pest and it provides higher yield. Okay, and next is flown sour. So it is tomato. Okay, it remains fresh and retains flavors. Okay, other than normal tomato, it retains fresh and remains fresh and retains flavors. Okay, so this is what the bt cotton, this is the bt cotton and this is the bt brinjal. Okay, so today's session is over and hope you enjoyed this session. So please, if you have any doubts, contact us through this email id and instagram id. Have fun learning session, friends. You will get a new video on class 9 biology. So it is on coming Monday, that is 31 August 2020. Subscribe us for more videos. Thank you.